Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Sivadas Madhavan, Associate Professor of English. Today I'm going to talk about the factors that supported English language or the factors that developed English language. And there are so many factors we have to consider. Mainly the printing press which was started in 1476, that means towards the end of 15th century, that stabilized the language. Printing stabilized spelling system and the English usage, etc. So, and that was 15th century was the time when a Renaissance came to England. It became full-fledged in English. And at that time, reading, writing, learning, etc. became quite common. So people were compelled to use the language. But that is not our point. Our point is the other factors also. Bible also, the spread of Bible or translation of Bible into English also helped. And scholars, writers, novelists, writers, fiction writers, dramatists, etc. helped. Poets all helped the English language. Linguists, the people who study language and the people who teach language. And next comes thieves and rats. Thieves, the Scandinavian thieves or Vikings or Norse thieves from Norwegia, and Danish thieves, Norwegian thieves, Scandinavian thieves, Vikings. Vikings are the seafaring pirates. Their main purpose of coming to Britain was to loot or to plunder. So they were coming to houses and they were looting the things, they were plundering the things. And at that time, their language influenced the local community. They were using the words like knife, window, coal, dye, skin, etc. So these are the common words the thieves used. So thieves also contributed. The Scandinavian thieves contributed English language. And English had the habit of acquiring words or vocabulary from all the sources it comes across. And from Scandinavians also, English acquired so many words. So thieves contributed a lot of things to English. And next comes the role of rats. Rats here in the sense that in the middle of the 14th century, that is in 1348, there was the Black Death, a great problem in England because of plague. Plague was a widespread disease which was very serious and very dangerous, much more than the present day corona. Corona killed so many people in the Western world, but this plague was much more than the present day plague, present day corona. So many people died, and this death occurred among the poor people or the common people. The common people were the farmers, and among the farmers, women were the greatest sufferers. Women were the people who dealt with the animals, cattle, sheep, pigs, etc. And this disease plague came from the flea that lives on the rodents like rats. So rats were in the farmhouses and in the field where the women worked. So women were affected and many women died at that time. So when women died, so many farmers became widowers. They don't have wives. And at that time, when people die, the priests used to come to their houses to perform the last rituals. And priests also had this disease because plague was contagious. So many priests died. And at that time, when it was very dangerous and risky, people didn't want to become priests. So no one was ready to, or no one was willing to be priests. Becoming a priest means having a consistent life, a consistent income. But no one wanted because it is risky. If a man becomes priest, he will also die. But at that time, the farmers were ready. Their wives recently died, so they are widowers and they are living alone. So they were ready to become priests. But the problem is they don't know how to read Latin. I told you the other day, England had, or the Great Britain had 3-language system. Church language was Latin, official language was French, and common people were using English. So the common people know only English, and Bible is in Latin. So they were compelled to translate translate Bible into English. And when Bible was translated into English, people began to use English for the religious discussions, to talk about God and to talk about serious things, etc. So until then, English language was very low-class language. It was substandard, but when they translated Bible into English, English got the credibility. So it became a credible language like French or Latin. And people began to use the expressions and phrases they used in Bible. So that's how English became popular, and it became a standard language, and it all happened because of the contribution of our rats. And these rats, which are these rats? These rats are the rats that came from India, China, Africa, etc. You know how these Indian or Chinese or African rats reached there? Because Europeans and Englishmen came to Eastern countries to loot us, to take the coffee, rice, wheat, all such food items they were taking from Eastern countries to England. And when they took it, it was by ship or the boats, or by means of sea, they were transporting the food items. And at that time, these rats got into the ship and they reached England and they spread the disease there, or at least that is what they say. Englishmen say that these rats that spread the disease are all from Eastern countries like India, China, Africa, etc. So when we see these Indian rats or Chinese rats, you can say, hi, salute to you, because they also contributed a lot of things to the development of English language. So that's a funny side. Actually, it's only a funny story, but there are certain elements of truth in it. And you can see, you see there is a book written by Professor Damodar Thakur, and he was my PhD scholar for some time, and the title of the book is A Concise History of English. And when he was writing this book, I was in Yemen, and at that time I happened to read a lot of books on English history, and I was able to edit and type the text which he was writing. So it helped me a lot, and I got this type of funny things, funny stories, and that's why I say this is not just a talk. These are scientific facts or truths. That's all about the factors that contributed to the development of English. With another topic, I will come next time. I hope these lessons will help the students of masters in different universities in India, even abroad. Thank you very much. We'll come up with another topic next time. Until then, goodbye.